Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morrish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
Our featured golfer has made it to the 13th hole. Let's pick up the action right there. Just a mediocre first round up to this point from our featured golfer. Frank, what are some keys to making something happen down the stretch?
Well, if this is the worst score that they shoot all week, I think that's one of the keys, because this is a position to vault forward from.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. All right, the winds are starting to pick up. Frank, you've played in conditions all over the world. What's the right way to approach it?
Well, you've really got to find out, first of all, the direction of the wind, and you have to be certain of it right now. And plus, if there's a gust, that's something you can't, you've got no control over.
He'll need to be strong with this. Birdie try up next. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Pretty good effort right there. Locked in on the read and the speed. So close.
Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey.
Even par, currently.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie.
Really. This is an awkward length. Oh, good roll. Good putt.
Par 4 14th, and Frank, this hole packs a little punch, doesn't it?
Yeah, the addition of just a little bit more yardage, plus the bunker on the left has been pushed out into the fairway, actually makes the whole play a little bit longer than its 490 yards. Second shot is a little bit uphill. No longer is there a bunker on the right side. That side of the green is actually open. But you don't really want to be trying to miss that green on the right. Should you decide to go at the flag, well, you're going to have to carry that front bunker. Second shot.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par. Rich, I think he's going for a different green. Are we on the wrong hole?
That's not a green in regulation. That's a green in miscalculation. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Settles in over the putt. Yeah, that really hurts, Frank, missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
So a tester from 4 feet. You can see the look of disgust, and it's justifiable. It's a double bogey. All right, Frank, now the fun begins. We are teed up at the par 5 15th hole. Plenty to talk about here.
Yeah, the fairway down the left side is anything other than straight. It's more like a shipwreck, the raggedness of it. And that water in play, well, if you do find one on the fairway, you can sort of always wave across to the people that are walking down the 11th hole.
Frank, what's the key? You just hit one OB.
Somehow forget what's just happened. Otherwise, the same thing's liable to happen.
Third shot now after having gone OB. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. Hazard?
Maybe wet. Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
So, in the water, now in position, playing his 6th shot.
Just got to act like it didn't happen.
All right, now another shot from the rough.
Yeah, this time better be better than the one we just saw.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. So, Frank, good shot right there, and he'll have a chance to get out of here without losing a whole lot.
Yeah, double bogey. Well, people have always had worse than that.
Can't make it, Frank, if you don't hit it.
Hubert Green once said, 99% of putts left short don't go in. I don't know what happened to the other 1%, but...
Then a rocky round. Well, partner, here we go. Players have characterized it as terrifying, chaotic, amazing. The stadium atmosphere here at this hole, the 16th of par 3, is really spectacular, isn't it, Frank?
It is. Because of the atmosphere, the number of people, this is the closest a golfer gets to like kicking a field goal in a Super Bowl. It's just surrounded by people. It's not really the difficulty of the hole. Just over 160 yards, a modest par 3. There's no water in trouble. But it's an atmosphere that golfers never normally are familiar with.
Get down. Lay down. Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Solid play, heart of the green. And getting ready for the putt. Well, too bad. He gives one back. Frank, when you get to the 17th hole, we always recall maybe the single most bizarre shot in the history of golf.
Yeah, everybody talks about maybe a hole-in-one at 16, but really 17. And the player was Andrew McGee. It was a good tee shot, don't get me wrong. But Rich, it needed an assist.
Well, the assist came from Tom Byram, whose brother Kurt is a commentator for the Golf Channel. Tom Byram was just minding his own business, standing on the green, sort of leaning on his putter, and you know what happened.
Yeah, the ball hit Tom Byram's putter and then careened into the hole. So, 17. Made famous a little bit of history with a couple of names to drag up from the past.
Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the hole location from here. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. To the 18th hole now, and Frank, the original designers stepped in and they made this hole quite a bit more challenging.
Yeah, they certainly have stiffened it up. The longest hitters in the game, the Dustin Johnsons, the Bubba Watsons, the J.B. Holmes, used to take it completely over the lake down the left side where there was just one paltry bunker. Now there's a series of bunkers, almost like the church pews at Oakmont, that are littered down the left side, stopping that attack. You're going to have to respect this hole that much more off the tee. Find the fairway. It's still a short iron in, but this finishing hole is now a proper finishing hole. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach.
And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag. Well, it's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Just a couple of feet. You almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Well, that'll do it for day number one, and a tough start for some of those who were hoping for better things.
Yeah, slow start, surprisingly, really, and hard to put your finger on why, because we saw a lot of good golf, but now, outside looking in, we'll need to play well tomorrow.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Here at the TPC Scottsdale in Arizona, and Frank, when so many people tune in to watch this great event, they think immediately of the 16th hole, with all of those fans jammed in. It's like Fenway Park inside the desert there, but it's much more than that little par 3, isn't it?
It certainly is more than that, Rich. The TPC Scottsdale is a great venue for a PGA Tour event. It's a blend of everything: birdie opportunities, holes that are fought by water, bunkering that's being changed. All in all, it's a great atmosphere with nearly 500,000 people that visit this during the tournament week.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a line like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end.
So they'll tap in. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Great scoring opportunity here at the par 5 15th, but Frank, I'm wondering, as a player, is your mind beginning to think about what's ahead at that par 3 16th hole?
Oh, they are. This is really the finishing stretch at TPC Scottsdale, where you get all these swing holes. 15 is a swing hole. 16, 17, and 18, where so many changes in the score can actually happen. But this one here is all about finding the fairway. A good drive down here will be well rewarded because you'll have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2. This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. These putts keep the round together. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Has this to save par. Has his par. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, what makes this so special is the walk underneath the grandstands. It's the Gladiator coming into the Coliseum.
That's a perfect description, Rich, and that's why this hole is unlike any other hole in the PGA Tour. The atmosphere that the players feel on that tee, they cannot prepare for, they can't experience anywhere else. This is a once-in-a-lifetime par 3.
And when you look at it from up high with the blimp view, it sort of appears as though they've dropped Fenway Park or Wrigley Field right into the desert. And this is a sellout crowd. I mean, this is 20,000 fans, and there's nothing like it. There's not a single. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, Frank, but that has to feel good. Frank, 16 was fun. 17 is always exciting here at TPC Scottsdale.
You've got to be careful because that water that sort of goes around the left side of the green, if that ball's coming in with a little bit of hook, it's just going to keep going left. There's the one bunker you really have to focus on. That's the one in the middle of the fairway. 280 will carry that. Chances are the ball can run onto the green. It takes a brave man really to try and fly this ball all the way there. It's not really needed because there's always another 10 or 15 yards of run. Factor that in.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey.
Good read, good line, well played.
Par 4 18th, and Frankie, if you are trying to win the tournament out here at TPC Scottsdale, this is all you want down the stretch.
It is. There's a short bunker there, obviously for the recreational player to respect. 3 bunkers down the right side protected, and that new bunkering situation down the left there to stop the attack of a Bubba Watson or a JB Holmes. Now this tee shot is going to have to be respected, and the green too is anything other than flat.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Pretty good shot right there. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. They'll take it. That's a par. Frank, disappointing couple of rounds there.
And consequently a miscut. No chance playing in the weekend, but there's more than one tournament ahead.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Birdie try up next. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. So close. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Trying to get out of here with just one dropped shot. This is for bogey.
Rich, you got to tell me what happened. I covered my eyes on that one.
Another bogey. What else? Let's go down to the 11th. Coming to this middle portion of the round, Frank, the featured golfer, has really struggled.
Yeah, just a rough start, and it's going to be a case of trying to find a few things to really rectify this situation. Find some fairways, start finding some greens in regulation, give yourself some birdie opportunities. Take the pressure off your game.
Sitting up in the fairway now, 180 yards away. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
Really? This is an awkward length.
Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Okay, has it and stays at 1 over par. Now to the par 5 12th. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get a par 5 at Bay Hill, got to take advantage of it. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot. So after the layup, Frank, here at the par 5 12th, hit shot here, try to make birdie.
Yeah, just use the contours of this green. You can actually get to this flag a lot of different ways. Using one of the mounds, there's nothing wrong with that.
This is a good-looking shot. Safely aboard, about 25 feet from the hole. and getting ready for the putt. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par. Frank, this is an interesting hole. It's the par 4 13th, and it isn't necessarily a driver off the tee. What are the options?
Yeah, you break it down. 250 off the tee leaves 120. There's nothing wrong with playing the hole that way. Get a little over ambitious here and run out of fairway. That second shot over water. Whoa.
Par 4 13th, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Oh, can't hide the flag stick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Frank, always nice to get in a round here at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge, the house that Arnie built.
Yeah, it's never easy. Water, so much in play here. Greens firm, fast. Great test.
So for all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner for Frank Nobilo. Until next time. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Its second-round coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. What's you need to watch out for here, Frank?
Those two front bunkers, Rich, the one that protects the left and the right. More often than not, you want to pitch the ball on the front of this green. They are the two to be concerned about.
Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, whom you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Here at the 231-yard par 3 second, Frank, pretty good hole.
It certainly is, Rich. The carry on the right side's a little shorter, but if you're going to take it down the left side, you've got to fly that ball at least another 20 yards. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole. Don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
And the solid play continues. Pretty good approach shot right there. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Really no chance to go in there. Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Now to the par 4 third, 434 yards and plenty of trouble on that left side.
One of the hardest tee shots on the front side. Water very much in play down the left.
And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Frank, you've just hit one in the water. You don't want to compound the mistake. What's the mindset here?
This one right here, you've got to forget that big blue oasis in front of you.
After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising.
Frank, this is always such a difficult spot for a golfer. You just hit one out of bounds, you're trying to regroup.
He's going to need to more than regroup now.
Frank, you need the calculator at this point. This is already his 6th shot after hitting one out of bounds.
Yeah, that's hard to imagine. And, well, if this one isn't good, more problems ahead.
Solid play, heart of the green. Not a gimme, but well within his range. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Rich Lerner with Frank Nobilo back at the 4th hole here at Bay Hill. This is the first par 5 on the golf course. 561 yards. You thinking birdie here, Frank?
Oh, you certainly are. Perhaps even 3. This is almost ramrod straight. Little hazard down the right side. But a good one, you can certainly get home for 2.
And his 2nd shot with par 5. Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Looks like about 80 yards left. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Par yesterday, now for birdie. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Can't make them all. That one gets away. Just a couple of feet. Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. Fifth hole at Bay Hill. Frank, this is a chance to employ some course management as opposed to maybe brute strength. What do you think?
Yeah, rather soft par 4. No water here, but bunker down the left and bunker down the right. Pinches into that corner. So if you're a little wayward, an iron here is not a bad idea.
Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Frank, what about this approach shot here at the fifth?
One of the few holes where you get a short iron in your hand for that second shot, but that green slopes away at about a 45-degree angle to the right, which makes distance control paramount here at 5.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Pretty good shot right there. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. You feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Been a rocky round. Frank, talk to us about the sixth hole.
I don't want to. It's too difficult.
Why not?
It's too hard. It's too difficult. John Daly made 18.
But that's not such a bad score. If you break it down, that's...
Break it down for one hole? It broke
three
him
pars
down.
and an eagle.
Second shot.
right, Frank, you've played it safe. Now you have that third shot. What's the best way to get to that hole location and make the birdie?
The angle of the green really does favor the layup shot because at least you're hitting across the length of the green, but it's a little bit like that third hole, a very narrow green. So once again, that wedge shot has to be very precise.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Frank, where is that thing?
Well, thank God for small mercies.
Frank, too many missed shots and now a missed cut.
Yes, it's disappointing, but the experience gained from playing this course really will be invaluable. Now's the time, just pick your head up and move forward. There's always another week.
Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Now to the 10th hole. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
When you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, it turns out all right.
Here we go. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Getting set now over the putt. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts.
Even par, currently.
So, 2 over par for the round. So off the long par 3/10, we are at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4, Frank.
It looks like a straightaway par 4, Rich, but if anything, the hole actually bends to the left, and you really want to follow that natural contour of that. Just sort of draw it off those bunkers on the right, or just simply carry it over the ones on the left. But ideally, down the left side, it avoids that pine tree that's further down. The great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. Well, that was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
He'll need to be strong with this.
Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win.
Ooh, inexcusable.
Just 5 feet left.
Oh, that one's got a sting. That's a good stroke.
A disastrous triple bogey attempt here. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. All right, on to the 12th hole, 442-yard par 4. What do you like about this hole, Frank?
Just a nice par 4 that sort of bends to the player's right. A lot of people will just stand up here, grab the driver. I don't really think you have to do that, Rich. The hole's not overly long. Just something short or down that left side. You're only going to have a short iron in for your second shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks right on point. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. a good-looking putt right here. You might like it. Oh, he's going to love it. Great putt. Here at the 12th, par 4, 442 yards. Frank, what's ahead?
This one's called Big Boat. Hole's certainly a lot longer than the 10th hole, which is Little Boat. Dog legs to the player's right, a couple of bunkers down the left side. That first bunker on the left shouldn't be too much of a problem to carry. But once again, even though the hole bends to the right, you'd like to be down the opposite side of the fairway, which is the left.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there.
Really. This is that awkward length.
Just has the feel today. Back here at the par 4 14th, and we are ready to tee off. 442-yard hole, Frank.
It's called wampum. My Canadian's not that good, so I don't know what that means, but the way I decipher it, another little dog leg to the right with bunkers all over the place. The sort of, in the place where you'd like to hit the tee shot is exactly where that crop of, what is that, 5 bunkers down the left side. So you're going to have to somehow squeeze it just right of that. Very awkward tee shot.
Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up. So this is one of those ones, you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Well, he knew it right from the start. Just a poor putt. This golf course playing tough today. They're at 7 over. Well, that'll do it for today. Not a great performance, not on the first page of that leaderboard.
Yeah, the people on the top of this leaderboard are there for a reason. They hit more fairways, more greens. It sounds easy, and I know this is a difficult course, but that's the way it's going to have to be played.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. It's second round coverage of the Alberta Classic. Getting ready to start the back nine here at Banff Springs. And Frank, you better be ready on this 10th tee. This requires a good shot.
Even though the hole looks like it bends towards the right, the best access to this hole is actually a little draw off that tee. That's the direction of the green, so a nice high draw in here. Oh, this is way offline.
He knew it right from the start. But he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
On the green, sure, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the International Challenge.
Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Now playing the second here at the par 4. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Frankie has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going. Not a problem there, Rich.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Resuming the action, and let's go out to hole number 11. Time to turn it around, isn't it, Frank?
Yeah, time's now, that's for sure. Some poor play, scorecard reflects that. Some good play, and the scorecard will also reflect that.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough. Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. This for him would be one drop shot. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Take you down now to the 15th hole. As we check in on this early round action, we join our featured golfer, already playing well to this point. A couple of low numbers on the scorecard.
Yeah, it looks very good. Good swings out there and some good putting as well.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Maybe lifted right there, just sort of peaked.
Even par currently.
So, 2 over par for the round. From a short par 3 to a short par 4. Just 393 yards here at the 16th, Frank.
And when you stand on this tee, this hole looks anything other than straight. Goes to the left and comes back to the right. But if you can just fixate at the green in the distance, you're actually going to look like a relatively straight par 4. And that's the way the hole should be played. Look at those first 2 bunkers that you see and just try and split those. Good tee shot here and nothing more than a wedge left into this green. Simplify it. That's the key. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
So, Frank, out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. Well, by getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Didn't go in, Frank, but not a bad effort. Tough hole. Has this now for double bogey.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's an outrage right there.